Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast where we explore the role of gender in television. Today we'll be focusing on the sitcom I Love Lucy. I'm your host, Gavin Beauregard, and today we'll delve into how gender roles were portrayed in this era and what it means for us today. The 1950s was a transformative decade for American society, particularly in terms of gender roles. Post-World War II America saw a strong push towards traditional family values, with the nuclear family becoming the ideal. This period was marked by a clear division of labor, where men were the breadwinners and women were expected to be homemakers. I Love Lucy, which aired from 1951 to 1957, is a perfect lens through which we can examine these gender roles. The show starred Lucille Ball as Lucy Ricardo, a housewife with a knack for getting into comedic trouble, and Desi Arnaz as her husband, Ricky. The dynamic between Lucy and Ricky often highlighted the gender expectations of the time. According to a study by Andrea Press, early television confined women to the home and family setting. This was evident in I Love Lucy, where Lucy's primary role was that of a wife and mother. However, Lucy Ricardo's character also challenged these norms by constantly seeking ways to break out of her domestic role, albeit often comically. One of the key aspects of I Love Lucy was its portrayal of marital relations and domesticity. Brianna Knowles' analysis highlights how the show depicts the complexities of marriage and the role of housewives. Lucy's comedic antics often revolved around her attempts to participate in Ricky's world, whether by trying to join his nightclub act or by pursuing various schemes to gain independence. The show's treatment of pregnancy was also groundbreaking. Lucille Ball's real-life pregnancy was written into the TV show, making I Love Lucy one of the first TV shows to depict a pregnant woman. This was a significant step in normalizing the visibility of pregnancy on television, although it still adhered to certain conservative norms, such as avoiding the word pregnant and instead using expecting. Amelia Ann DeLeo's research further explores how I Love Lucy and other shows of the era reflected and influenced changing gender norms. While Lucy Ricardo often found herself in traditional roles, her character's desire for more autonomy resonated with many women of the time, who were beginning to question their societal role. The historical context is crucial to understanding these portrayals. The 1950s were a time of significant social pressure for women to conform to the ideal of the perfect housewife. This is well documented in studies on the period which show how media and societal expectations reinforced these roles. However, not all women were content with these roles. The seeds of discontent were already being sown, leading to the feminist movement of the 1960s and beyond. The portrayal of women in shows like I Love Lucy played a part in this by highlighting the limitations and frustrations of the housewife role. Let's delve deeper into the societal impact of these portrayals. The 1950s was a decade where the media played a significant role in shaping public perception of gender roles. Bridget O'Keefe's analysis of the 1950s and 1960s popular culture reveals how media outlets and the U.S. government pushed explicit messages on gender roles to preserve the sanctity of the nuclear family. Television shows, advertisements, and films all showcased American technology and innovation while promoting traditional gender roles. The mixed messages of preserving the country through the nuclear family, while still attempting to be glamorous and modern, proved to be confusing and stressful for young women and girls. Disney films of the 1950s, such as Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, reinforced the idea of the precious damsel in distress by being saved by a handsome prince, which played a larger role in the psyche of young women. Andrea Press's work on gender and family in television's golden age highlights how early television confined women to the home and family setting. The increase in working women in the 1960s and 70s was reflected in television's images of women working and living non-traditional family lives. However, the nostalgic yearning for love and family life often undercut the gains made by liberal feminism. Amelia Ann DeLeo's research on changing gender norms on and off screen examines the role women played on television through a close analysis of I Love Lucy and That Girl. These shows demonstrate women's general places during the decades in which they aired, with Lucy Ricardo representing the housewife of the 1950s and Anne Marie representing the increasingly popular independent woman of the 1960s. Anam Rana Afzal's thesis explores how Lucille Ball fought the patriarchy while Lucy Ricardo indirectly contributed to second-wave feminism. Ball's portrayal of a 1950s housewife who contested gender roles put forth by her husband in society, while simultaneously enabling the patriarchy, highlights the complexities of her character. In conclusion, I Love Lucy serves as a fascinating case study for examining gender roles in the 1950s. The show both reinforced and subtly challenged the norms of its time, reflecting the complexities of gender expectations in post-war America. As modern viewers, we can appreciate the progress that has been made while also recognizing that the enduring impact of these early portrayals. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of gender roles in the 1950s television. We hope you found the discussion insightful, and be sure to tune in next time as we continue to delve into the rich history of comedy and its societal implications.